What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you saw from the title and thumbnail, we are not at the shop today. We are going to do something different. We're going to do a Copart walk around of some of the coolest cars that I have found. We're not going to do any boring cars, only the cream of the crop here on this channel. So without any further ado, let's dive into the first vehicle. The first vehicle on our list is this Lamborghini Diablo. As you can see from the front end, it does have some light front end damage. From afar, it does look pretty good. The back end of this vehicle, there is no marks on it at all. As you can see, the paint does look pretty good. The previous owner most likely took care of it, knew what he had, but unfortunately, there was something that happened to the front end. And let's get a closer look and see what we have. So the passenger side here, you can see everything's kind of pushed up in there. The wheel does look like it's in okay shape. Got the OZ Racing wheels, factory from Lamborghini back in the 90s. And man, check this out. This guy had skateboard trucks up on this. I think Hoovie's Garage had a similar thing, so when you're going up against something, it pushes on that and picks the car up so you don't cause any damage. And taking a closer look at this, there's a good amount of rust. It looks like someone was already in here. I don't know how well you can see that, but that does not look like Lamborghini grade. This might be a Midwest car with a little bit of rust on it. That could be a possibility, and they just coated it up. But at quick glance, it definitely looks like someone was in here. I don't know if you could see that. That is not factory, unless this was some of the procedures they did back in the 90s when they were putting these cars together. Took a pretty good hit up front, but good thing none of the airbags are deployed on this vehicle. Let's go ahead and try to open the door and get into the vehicle. Door goes straight up. The strut on it is in good shape. It's unfortunate that they had to put all these parts inside the interior. None of the airbags are deployed. Now, I would like to get into the vehicle, but with respect for the auction, we're not going to move any of the parts. We're just going to leave it how it is and inspect it as best as possible. Let's go ahead and see if the other door opens as well. Usually one or the other struts on these vehicles will be bad. Go ahead and open it carefully. Looks like it is binding up here, so we're not going to open it up all the way. Close that one back up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Would this be a suitable vehicle for the rebuild? I doubt any of these parts are available on the market today. It will probably be a little difficult to find these parts, let alone the whole front end of this vehicle is made out of aluminum. As you can see, all that shininess right there. So doing body work on this, trying to bring this back, will be very difficult to do. All right, guys, taking a look in the engine bay, you could see the V12 motor. Looks like someone went ahead and replaced the exhaust system on this thing, or it's probably just the shielding, the heat protection. But everything in here looks to be in order. Looks like someone did some wiring right there. The entire chassis of this vehicle is coated in some kind of a film. I don't know, like how I said earlier, this must have been a Midwest vehicle and they were just protecting it for it wouldn't corrode or rust. Alright guys, so we're looking for the battery location on this Lamborghini Diablo. Google said it should be right in this area, right in front of the front driver's side wheel. But because the vehicle sustained damage on the front side, you can see from the brackets, I think the previous owner most likely just relocated the front battery on it. Alright guys, so we found the battery, we got it hooked up. Let's hear that cold start. right, guys, next on the list is a 2015 Mercedes S550. Gonna take a quick walk around, but I believe we got undercarriage damage on this car. Oh yeah, something's definitely going on wrong right there with that wheel. But it's actually looking to be in good shape. The paint does look factory. It's got a nice shine, consistent shine all the way through. Got some damage on that passenger rear side. We're gonna hop over on the other side. But before we do, let's take a look on the interior. Oh yeah, smells like factory. Battery still got juice on it, that's good. Wow, I'm gonna say the interior, the bolsters on the interior are in great shape. Most likely was someone didn't get in and out of the car too often. Let's go ahead and look at the other side, where most of the damage is. Some of these lines are not lining up. Could be the front end has been tweaked a little bit. Looks like the insurance company marked it right here. It's probably got some waves in the panel. That's no big deal. And this is most likely why this vehicle was totaled out. At first glance, I mean, you have this rear quarter panel, which is probably the reason why this thing was totaled out. And I don't know if you could fix that. That's a big hole right there. It's damaged. The bracket's looking like to be in good shape, but let's go ahead and start it up and see if someone put any aftermarket parts on these cars. Because just because you buy the vehicle from the auction doesn't necessarily mean you could register it here in the state of California. Most likely we'll need all the catalytic converters, so it's always a good sign to go ahead and start these things up and listening to the motor. Let's go ahead and sit on the inside. Everything looks like it's in the correct place. Nothing looks out of place. None of the airbags are deployed. That's a good sign. Okay, it's a push to start. Foot on the brake. Started right up. Engine sounding a bit rough. Let's go ahead and open up the hood and take a look. It's always good to roll down the window so you don't lock up anything. There's a lot of chatter coming from the top end of the motor. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down so we don't cause any damage if there is something wrong with it. Oh, engine oil pressure. Turn off engine. Yep. Yeah, guys, I mean, from the pictures, this one did look really good, but unfortunately, that warning indicator right there on the dash with the oil pressure is not a good sign. Beautiful car, but unfortunately, it's gonna cost way too much. So cars like this, it does look like it's just back end damage, as you saw. Didn't look like it's too big of a deal. If you have some tools in your garage, you know a little bit of body work, you got a welder, if you could source a rear bumper cover, but you're gonna go ahead and take that into account, and then you got some issues with the front end of the motor. So most likely this thing has some undercarriage damage. As you can see, that heat exchanger right there is just dragging on the ground. That's most likely the oil cooler. I doubt this thing has any oil in it, unfortunately. All right, well, I think we're gonna pass on this one, guys. If there's any vehicle that you see and you're screaming at your screen right now and you want me to talk about it in the next video, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know which vehicle you're interested in, and maybe in my next video I will go and talk about that car. Next on our list is this Chevrolet Corvette. So the wheels were not the reason what caught my attention and made me come all the way this way to take a look at it. The main reason why I decided to come down and take a look at the vehicle is something right there. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. This thing has a ProCharger supercharger on it that is belt driven. And fortunately for us, this thing is carb compliant. You got the carb sticker right there. So you could take it in to any smog station here in California and get it smogged. But I just noticed one thing, you got some long tube headers right there. I don't know if that's gonna be okay to smog the vehicle, but this thing is a gem. Look at this thing, man. Someone spent some good money on that ProCharger. Looks like they did a really good job installing it too, no hack job or anything. The front end of this vehicle, the frame rails look straight. You can see the driver's side frame rail got a little bit of a crack there, or that just might be the panel bond that holds the fender. Yeah, no, there is absolutely no damage here on the frame rail. You got these lower brackets. These do look aftermarket for the heat exchangers that they put. That's no big deal. You could get some new brackets or fab some up. Wow, this thing is a gem. You know, this might be one of the vehicles we're gonna buy. I am actually interested in this vehicle. The paint is looking good on it. There is no overspray or anything like that. Like how I said, the wheels and tires have to go for sure. Then you got the exhaust system down here. Maybe you guys can tell me what that is. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the jump pack on this vehicle, get it started up and see how it sounds. But before we do that, let's go ahead and check the oil. I don't wanna have low oil or anything like that on this. Yeah, there's definitely oil in it. That's a good sign. We got the jump pack on this right now. We're gonna go ahead and climb inside. Unfortunately, one thing, it is an automatic. Damn. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pull so we get into the vehicle. Mind you, I am 6'4". Got the original key. Let's go ahead and see if it starts up. Where is the key on this thing? Oh, it's got a push button, so someone most likely put an aftermarket push button on it. Let's put our foot on the brake. Woo! That thing sounds good. Got no lights on the dash, that's a good sign. 37,000 on the clock. It's an automatic. Let's go outside and see how she sounds. All right. Let's see that whine. One more time. So as you saw, that little tornado right there was because the charge pipe was actually blown, and it's blowing all that dirt out of the way. This thing sounds really good, guys. I think this is gonna be one of the vehicles we are going to bid on, mainly because there is no airbags deployed, and all you have is just some fenders, a front bumper, and just a little bit of heat exchange work down here, and you have a really, really nice vehicle on your hands. So that's we're definitely gonna put a star next to the name of this vehicle on our list. Next on our list is this Cadillac Escalade with the pearlescent white paint job. This was one of my favorite cars when I was in high school, so as soon as I saw it was available for sale, I had to come and take a look at it. So let's go ahead and do a walk around. Looking at the paint, everything does look consistent. All the door jambs do look like they line up perfectly how the factory would have it. Makes you wonder, why is this thing even here in the first place? Back end on the passenger side does look good. When you see cobwebs like that, that means this car was parked for a very long time. You got plenty of tread on the tires. This one is flat. That could be just most likely it's been sitting and it created a leak somehow. The paint is cracked there. Most likely probably was somebody was trying to close the hood possibly at one point. Doesn't look like there was any impact on the front. Things like this is common. Someone has actually put Bondo right there, as you can see. So it's been to the potty shop. Oh, okay, here we go. This is why. This thing was sideswiped. Oh yeah, here it is. This is most likely totaled it out. Here we go. Didn't get the tailgate though. Tailgate's in good shape. Completely missed that. You could probably reuse that bumper. Get you a new light and some body work right there. You got a nice truck. Got 182,000 miles on the clock. Interior looks pretty clean. It smells like Clorox. Maybe someone was in here cleaning. Got an aftermarket overhead video system. Let's see if there's power. Let's see if it starts up. Got lights on the dash. Oh, turn that down. Started right up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the motor. Check engine light is on the vehicle. No surprise there, right? The vehicle's at the auction. All right. Motor's running nice and smooth. You got a wire loom missing on that. I don't know why. But everything looks like it's supposed to be where it is. No aftermarket parts, which is a good plus. Living here in California, they're pretty strict with emissions, so it's good to buy a vehicle with all the emission components still intact. You don't want something that has been modified. And if it has been modified, like how we saw in that Corvette, you want to have that carb sticker there, because there's no point in buying the vehicle and then repairing it and then finding out that you can't register the vehicle because it just doesn't pass emissions. This one does sound pretty good, and this is the only reason. I don't think there's any mechanical issues. It sounds good from the exhaust. It's not sputtering or anything. This is a good one too. I'm going to keep my eye on this one. Yep, check engine light, low tire pressure sensor. I feel like someone changed the seats on this thing, because you would actually have the cream color, the tan colored seats. See the seat belt right here? Someone actually changed the seats at one point. The damaged door does open. That's a good sign. Yeah, someone definitely swapped out the seats, so someone's been wrenching on it, but that's okay. They look good. All right, guys, just a bonus for you guys. We have this brand new Cadillac Escalade, and this is the only extent of the damage here. Doing a quick walk around. I don't want to be here for too long, but ooh, here it is. This is why this thing was totaled out. The whole front end of this vehicle is shifted off to the driver's side. Only 111,000 miles. 111,000 miles? That's a lot of miles. Jeez. You wonder, do these people put these things on center blocks and just let the mileage run up? It's like a 2020, 2021. This thing shouldn't have more than 20,000 miles on it. Jeez. Alright guys, I appreciate you sticking around all the way to the end of the video. If you do want to see more videos like this, let me know by hitting that thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. That said, I will see you in the next one.